Hey there, friendos. What's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, and you're joining me just as I am taking out my timeline enemies. Sorry, Gravity Punch. I had to do it. You know when you find that one opponent who you get the max amount of points for, but they're relatively easy for you to autoplay, so you keep going back to them. Yeah, sorry, Grav, but that's you today. So I'm just gonna quickly take care of business here, and then we'll get to today's video, because as we all know, what we're here for today is Moon Knight. But I just wanted to say, what the heck, Grav? What are you doing putting Nova Sam Alexander in your PvP team? But we'll come back to that after the video, and I shall I'll destroy you a few more times. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, so yeah, welcome back, and today we are obviously going to be looking at Moon Knight. We did get a latest teaser sneak peek drop in the wee hours of the morning over here in the UK. Obviously different times of where you guys were. Not sure if any of you have seen it. You probably all have seen it by now. So yeah, we're looking at a upgrade for Moon Knight. So without further ado, let's have a look at the sneak peek video. So you can see there's 4 very clear stars in the sky as we pan around and down to our wonderful new Moon Knight uniform. Now, that is a real constellation. I don't actually know the names of constellations and stuff like that. I'm not very good with that kind of stuff. But a lot of people are speculating that that is very much a hint for tier 4. Now, as you can see, my build for Moon Knight, Mr. Knight here, is pretty fully built. We could do with some more crit rate. We're a bit over on some other things that we could change around. We haven't touched his Odin's Blessings and his Uru since we changed our cards, so that's why a lot of them could be moved around. We could do with his type enhancement going up. Unfortunately, we have no standalone 5 stars, which is why, hint hint, Marvel Future Fight devs, if you're watching, it would be great if you could rank up those type enhancement tickets we all have hundreds of sat just wasting away in our inventories. Just a custom, a random obelisk in his custom gear slot. We don't have a CTP. We did have a CTP of energy on him, but after he kind of fell off of the meta, we took that away from him. And I've actually been using him, funnily enough, at the moment in my team for Blade, because he's very fast at the moment, and when I've been going through my content for World Boss Legend, if you're having to have males, then he is this perfect built team with Blade and Where's Taskmaster? I'm looking at combats, I can't see him for the life of me. Do you ever have one of those moments where something is probably staring you right in the face and you can't see it? Ah, there he is, right over it. Oh, it's because I favorited it. Of course, I favorited all of the support characters, that's why. So yeah, you can see he does have a team up with Taskmaster as well, and obviously he does also take benefit from the Weapon Master leadership that Blade has. So this is a perfect built team for him. And I've just been using him because he's a lot fast. I love Blade. I think Blade is great, and he's finally got the justice he deserves, but he is a little slow. So I have been using Moon Knight to tag out to, funnily enough, at the moment, without even thinking, because I was expecting this uniform to come next month. I don't know why. I must have got my months mixed up, but I was expecting it next month. So I've been tagging out from Blade, bringing in Mr. Knight because he's a lot faster, so you can run around and get the Doctor Strange spells on the ground, and then you can also hit a quick rotation for him, do a little bit of burst damage, and then switch back to Blade once the 10 seconds are up. However, I've not actually used Moon Knight standalone as the main DPS for World Boss Legend ever, actually, to be honest. So this will be interesting to see with this. Let's be honest, it's only a half build, it's not a really fully finished build. We've got a lot of work to do on him anyway. But it would just be interesting just to get a kind of a litmus test of where he stands currently compared to when he gets his new uniform. Certainly for me, regardless of whether or not he gets a tier 4, this is going to be the bigger test to see where he stands now compared to fully built up and then with the uniform, because if we do get a tier 4, like some people are suggesting or are thinking that the sneak peek hints at, I'm not going to have it for a while. I don't know about the rest of you, but based on how it's going with Tony, it's going to be quite a while before I see well, even a first tier 4, let alone a second. So you can see we're coming up on a minute, and already we're lagging behind, certainly where Blade is in the current combat meta, let alone other characters. Yeah, it's not looking too peachy for him. His skills are all great though. I mean, certainly aesthetically, Moon Knight doesn't really need much of a rework. This Mr. Knight uniform is really nice looking. The animations and the skills all look fantastic. But obviously we know in 2022 we need certain things from reworks, and yeah, 3 minutes 20 and we are down still on the first bar, so he's not good enough. He needs higher DPS and probably needs more survivability too if we're going to be using him in endgame content. Like I say, half of that may be my build because I haven't fully built him up. As you can see, we still need to finish off his ISO set. I'm going to wait until his uniform does come out before deciding on what, if any, CCP to give him. At the moment we're just going to stick with the obelisk. We could probably swap up quite a few of these Uru now. I might put an Odin's Blessing or two on him, depending on where I can get, just by changing up the Uru and combining some to max them out. We do have a toughness there for that extra bit of crit rate if we need it. But I think, personally, and this is just me, I think it's too soon for tier 4, and I don't want to see it. Now, based on the current state of play with Dormammu, I have had absolutely awful luck with the Book of Vishanti drops. And I don't know if anyone else picked up. I know I certainly said in my video yesterday that I didn't notice before, but it definitely says now, Book of the Vishanti Blast, and it does specify Blast, so I am fully expecting to see Book of the Vishanti for all the other types, Speed, Combat and Universal. Now, given how much resources we're already having to put into characters for tier 4, so with Iron Man we've seen the absurd amount, even though it has been dropped recently. We can see with the Carbonarium, you have to go into the gear before switching across, and the Saltine or Faltine, whatever it is. I think I decided to change the gear there because it's slightly less. It's only 9 per roll on the 4th slot. I wanted to get that up. So we're also having trouble, even though they've reduced the amount of life seed, it still takes a total from 6 to 10 for all 5 slots. I did the maths, it works out 2,100 life seeds to max out the gears, and that's the skills, and that's not including obviously the gold cost, that's just the life seed costs. So whilst I do think that tier 4 is very much the future, and it's important that we do move forward as a game, I don't think now's the right time to introduce tier 4. Currently we get a tier 2 advancement ticket once a month, and I'm looking at this kind of for all the players as opposed to just either vets or whatever, and I do think that a new player getting tier 2, one tier 2 a week, free to play, new player, the amount of new materials you get, not including check-in events and all of that kind of stuff, probably for the first 6 months you want to be building up 1-2 tier 2s per week, and then when you get to that stage you can look to start changing up. You have a built out enough roster so you can start getting to tier 3s and transcended. But for players like me, I'm still trying to catch up. I'm still playing catch up on spending a lot of resources, so I don't have a massive amount now. And a lot of the Odin's Blessings and CTPs that I did have in stock, I've all used now in reforging and maxing out characters' builds in order for this new content. And I think a lot of other players are the same. If you look at the combat class, we don't really have a lot, so you can say there is an argument for having tier 4s. Certainly at the moment, the only meta characters we have really are Blade and Shang-Chi. I don't really think any of the others are massively good for any content. Although I did get a comment yesterday actually saying about Mr. Fantastic being good for World Boss Legend, so I'll have to do some further testing to see how that shakes out. But thanks to Asgardian for pointing that out. I'll do some more testing. I do think we need tier 4 combats. I do think the combat class needs to get its glow up like Speed has recently done with the likes of Spider-Man, Black Widow, the Hawkeyes, Makari, etc. But unless they still further improve the drop rates, maybe in Timeline Survival for tier 4 materials they could put something there. Unless they do that, I just don't think we're going to get enough to really facilitate more than one a month. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll catch you next time.